Welcome. Today we're going to review the use of the Atlona Omni 521 profile. To start off, what you're going to need to do is import any profiles that you downloaded off the website into your Savant profile database. To do this, go into your RacePoint Blueprint software, click on the RacePoint Blueprint menu, go ahead and click on Preferences. Select a folder to import your new profiles into. Click Import. Navigate to the folder that you've downloaded and select the profiles that you wish to import. And go ahead and click Import. Repeat this step for any other profiles that you want to import. Once you're done, go ahead and close this window and you can start utilizing the profiles you've imported. You will go ahead and place those profiles into your blueprint. And we can do that by searching for 521 for the decoder. And one of the things with these decoders is you do want them to be located in a global zone, not in an individual room. So I'm going to leave that in the shared equipment zone, and I'm going to call this the kitchen decoder or the kitchen 521. And just because I want to show you the example of two, I'm going to place a second one, and we're going to call this the family room. Now we are going to place a encoder. I'm just going to place one as an example. So I'll go grab the 512. And we're going to want to name these so they make sense to us as we're going to search for them. I'm going to name this one Apple TV 512. Now, like the 512, it does have two inputs and two outputs. So if you had two devices on here, you could give it a name of Apple TV and Cable Box 1 or whatnot. And let's go ahead and place the Apple TV. Okay, now that we have all the devices placed on our blueprint, let's go ahead and start making connections. Now we can go ahead and take the HDMI out from here and into our HDMI in 1. Now because we're using input 1, we're going to use output 1 as the encoded output. There's no actual communication going on here. This is purely doing work for us in the background of Savant, but we don't have to control this device. So we'll take this Ethernet out and go to our OmniStream 1 input. Now, in this scenario, if we're using both a kitchen zone and a family room, we can take this loop out 1, and we'll just make this big so you can see, loop out 1, and we'll take this and go to input 1. So I don't need a splitter to take this and go to multiple. I can just go to loop out and into the next, and if I had another zone, I could loop out here and go to the next room. Now, one thing I don't have in this right now is a TV, so let's go ahead and place a TV. And I'll go ahead and place a TV in both rooms. So now that I have those TVs, we can go ahead and take the HDMI and make those connections. And now that we have the connections there, all we need to do is make our Ethernet connection so that we can control our actual 521. Now this device does get switched, and it will come up with IP address. So we'll go ahead and put the IP address of that device. And then we'll have to go ahead and connect this one. and put the IP address of this device. Now, don't forget to make your control connections for your TV and your Apple TV. I'm not going to do that in this video, just focusing on the control of the 521. The final step to setting up the 521 is actually going in to showing this in the inspector, so we can either double click or we can click on it and go show in inspector. And we're going to go to the tab state variables. Okay, and this is going to show us where we can enter the address information. We need to utilize AMS to get that information. So we're going to pull up the AMS and go right here to dashboard and go to devices, and I clicked on all, and now I get the list of all of the devices. So I need to go to my encoder, and that's where I'm going to get the stream information. So I'm going to go to the 512, and then I'm going to go to sessions. And this is where it's going to give me the information that I need for the video. So here is session 1, which is going to be the HDMI input 1, and here's the IP address, port number for the video, IP address, port number for the audio, and the control I'm not really concerned about. So I'm going to go ahead and go to audio address input 1, and I'm going to put this 225.0.0.26 address. Then I'm going to go to the port number, and 1100 is going to stay the same because that's the port number here. Now I'm going to go to the video input, and I'm going to enter the video input, 25, and the video port is 1000, which is already set to 1000. And that's it. Now I just need to repeat that for each video input that I'm using, as well as in each encoder. So I'm going to have to repeat that now for input 1 on this other device. So this address here is 25, and this address here is 26. That will make sure that each input and each decoder knows the address that it needs to get the video signal from.